What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. Hope everybody's doing well, and yeah, let's get straight into things. So I'm going to start on the monthly on dollar. The reason I'm doing this is because I've cleared my charts, so I just want to get everything marked out that I was explaining in yesterday's video. So we had the opening of this bullish order block that I wanted to see get traded to, and you'll see that this week we did, today on Tuesday we did trade, Wednesday, wow, we did trade into that very nicely, and we've also traded down to the 50% level of this weekly wick as well, which is nice to see. So price is going exactly as planned, which is always good to see. As we drop down to the lower time frame, we'll start to get a better look, but I also want to bring our attention to the implied fair value gap, which is right here. If you remember yesterday's video, I believe it was blue, there was an implied fair value gap that I wanted to see us get traded into, and that's exactly what we witnessed today. So here's the daily, here's Wednesday's price action. We traded lower, taking out this low just as anticipated. So we traded down into that sell side liquidity below there, running down into the implied fair value gap, which is that blue box, and then through into that monthly bullish order block open, which is this level here. Let's get that marked out. Like so. And then we traded down to that consequent encroachment. So moving into the new day, what I want to see is I want to see us start to move away from this bullish order block open, preferably. Now, the reason for this is because we are going into Thursday, which means that we've got Thursday and Friday with non-farm payroll, and I think tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? We've got high impact news tomorrow and Friday. So I'm expecting the reversals to start to form tomorrow, basically is what I'm saying, because preferably I'd like to think that we can trade higher and start running for some relative equal highs. Now, before we go to the low time frame, I do want to make it clear, if price say fails and does trade aggressively lower and runs for these stops, if that's the case, then I'd start looking at this imbalance as a drawn liquidity. But preferably I would like to think that we can start to see some bullish price action in the new day. So let's go to the 4 hour, and you can see our price delivered beautifully to the downside, running into that monthly bullish order block just as we anticipated, which was great. And then we've just hit that consequent encroachment level. Now I do think that price is going to come down one more time to take out this low, as in I don't think I don't think we've finished yet. So I am going to be watching and anticipating price to take out this low one more time. Where do I want to see it trade to? Well, we have a nice 4 hour bullish order block right here, so I'm going to get that delineated like so. And when price takes out this low, I'd like to think that it can trade into this, and then we'd start to get a reaction away. So moving into the new day, maybe around the London session in the morning, I'd like to think that the Judas swing can get created, taking out this low and running towards this bullish order block where I'd anticipate seeing a strong reaction. If we don't get a strong reaction off of it, then like I said, we can start thinking about a potential drawdown into this vacuum block right here. Why is it a vacuum block? Because there's a lack of trading here. There is no trading that happened between these 2 points. So price may want to draw down into that, but preferably I'd like to think that this 4 hour order block will provide enough of a reaction for us to start hunting for buying opportunities. So let's go to the 1 hour. Again, you can see our price made its way down. 7 o'clock we traded higher, slightly higher, and then we broke down, running right into that implied fair value gap and monthly open. Seeing price come up like this is very typical, and this is what's going to drive a lot of traders crazy, because they're going to think that it's reversed. And don't get me wrong, it looks like it would have, but I'm telling you, and I'm expecting, this low is probably going to get taken. Like, if I was the market, I wouldn't leave this low just intact like that. I'd like to come down one more time and then trade higher if anything. So what am I looking for in the new day? Well, we're trading to the monthly bullish order block open. Now I'm going to be watching this 4 hour bullish order block. So let's just write that out just so that we know that that's that level. And I'm going to make this a blue line. So I want to see how price acts until there. So until price reaches down here, I'm not really going to be looking for any kind of setups, as this is where I'm anticipating price to trade before we do trade higher. Now don't get me wrong, we could find support within this implied fair value gap and trade higher. If that's the case, so be it, and that would mean that there's a lot of strength on dollar. However, I highly doubt that's going to be the case, and I do think we're likely going to run out Wednesday's low and start looking at that 4 hour bullish order block. So that's everything. On dollar, pretty simple. We can see again we've got relative equal highs. I think I drew our attention to these highs previously as well. There's some buy side liquidity resting above here, so that's what I'd see as a target, assuming we do get a bullish reaction and we see a change in the state of delivery. So that's what I'd be looking at for buy side targets. But yeah, obviously we're gonna have to wait and see. Let's now go on to GBP USD. I'm also going to clear everything here. Now GBP isn't very clear, and I say that because again we're trading into this very heavily wicked environment, which is not ideal. So you see we traded it up into this wick, this rejection level. We traded in there and then we've just reacted off of it. Again, moving into the new day, if I'm expecting lower dollar, that means I should expect some higher pound as well. So pound may want to trade back into this level. We have a bearish order block on the 4 hour right here that you can see we're reacting off of. So again, I'm watching to see how price is responding to it. I wouldn't be surprised if pound wanted to trade back into this order block one more time before turning around. And again, we might witness some kind of divergence, as in pound may fail to make a higher high, whereas euro, let me start again. Pound may fail to make a higher high, whereas dollar may make a lower low. So this is something to consider. But generally speaking, I'll be watching to see how pound returns back into this range before I see significant displacement. Because what I'm looking for now and anticipating and waiting for is displacement to the downside. I want to see real displacement for me to start thinking about shorts. I'm running into yesterday's lows. So obviously Wednesday's low, which is here, Tuesday's low, which is here. And then we have some relative equal lows on all the way down here as well. So preferably that's what I'd like to see. But again, we'll have to see what London offers us. But we had a pretty solid day today. We traded higher just as anticipated. Took out these highs, which is nice to see. But like I said, on the daily, pound just isn't clean right now, as in it's not clean to look at. But the fact that we're remaining within this wick, which is a rejection block, is good. Like, I'm happy that we didn't fill it in. For example, we pretty much just traded to the 50% level, slightly overshot it, very slightly, but we traded away from it. So once price touches it again, that would be my signal for me to start thinking about potential shorts for the week. On the 4 hour, again, this is the bearish order block, which pretty much lines up perfectly with that rejection block on the daily. Again, price is probably going to want to liaise around here for a bit before we see any kind of significant movement lower. Let's say price continues higher and trades above this high. If that is the case, then I will start looking at this high as a draw in liquidity. But again, I highly doubt that, as I do want to start seeing some strength in dollar once it assumingly takes out this low. Let's finish on euro. Now euro is a little bit more clean. We can start on the weekly on euro, and you'll see that on the weekly we have traded up into a bearish order block. This is the bearish order block in the weekly. I brought our attention to this, I believe, on in my weekly review on Sunday. If we go to the daily, you can see we traded up beautifully. There is a fair value gap here as well, so price returning to this is nothing new. Ran out relative equal highs here and here, just as anticipated. Very nice to see. And you'll also notice this daily bearish order block. Now, like I was saying on dollar, if I'm expecting dollar to take out Wednesday's low tomorrow, that means I should expect euro to take out euro's high. And if it's going to take out the highest I'd want to see it trade is into this daily bearish order block right here. So I'm going to get that delineated. We'll make it a nice blue, and I'm going to keep my eyes set on that level in the new day. And again, this is where I'd anticipate some kind of divergence. So what do I mean by that? I mean that euro may make a higher high trading into this bearish order block. GBP may fail to make a higher high and only trade into the wick of Wednesday. And then dollar will make a lower low, trading down into that 4 hour bullish order block that we were talking about. And that would show divergence, as in, you know, smart money divergence. If it happens and if it plays out, obviously I'll speak about it in tomorrow's video, and you guys can see exactly what I was talking about and how you could have gotten on the move. But yeah, we just have to wait and see, don't we? So yeah, we traded higher aggressively. I did scalp during London close. You can watch my video on there on my channel. Off that execution went pretty well. But yeah, I'm just going to be watching these highs again. I wouldn't be surprised if price wanted to retrace, run out those stops one last time before we see a significant displacement to the downside. Although we're falling, don't let this fool you. because this is one thing that I think I've learned more recently about price. Like, yes, we will turn around and it will retrace, but we shouldn't assume, you know, that we've had a significant break until we see a significant low get taken out, and that's not happening yet, which is why I'm anticipating and wouldn't be surprised if price wanted to come up one more time, run out these stops, and then trade lower. So yeah, moving into the new day on euro specifically, we do have high impact news on euro as well tomorrow. Euro specifically, I'm looking at this for buy stops for us to start selling above, with the expectation to then move lower, running into some beautiful relative equal lows that we do have residing below here, offering us south side liquidity to sell into. So we have two targets, and I like to think that we can go up and then trade lower. Same way on dollar, I'd like to think that we can trade lower and then trade higher, running into these relative equal highs. So that is my expectations. I do believe this is a classic. If that's the case, that will be a classic Thursday reversal. And if that's going to happen, it will happen during the New York session. So if the reversal hasn't happened by New York, then we're probably going to be trading lower for the rest of the week. That's pretty much how it goes. So that's going to be everything, guys. I hope you found this insightful. Hope you learned something. Make sure to drop a comment. Join us on Discord. We're there. And I'll make sure to catch you tomorrow. Peace.